center to vote. So when you look at the electoral areas and also the polling centers, you could see that people turned up in the morning to vote, and most of them have voted and they have gone back to carry out their daily activities. So the Electoral Commission officials have also been collaborating with the police, and the police have also been deployed. Officers have been deployed to the various centers to carry out this exercise or supervise this exercise. And the police officers themselves have been divided. We have plainclothes officers and also uniform officers, most of whom are patrolling within the Ejisu community and areas where the voting is taking place to ensure that there's order in these areas where voting is ongoing. So far, so good. We have not had a major incident in terms of the electoral process, but we've monitored an altercation between one supporter suspected to be that of the independent candidate, Mr. Idiomi, who was there at one of the polling centers at Kwamo, and he was questioned what he was doing there. So some unknown persons, we don't know where they were from, whether they were plainclothes officers, but these are well-built men who confronted him and asked him where was his accreditation. So he didn't give them a favorable response, and that led to a confrontation. So police had to come in to douse the tension over there. So voting is ongoing over there, and so far the process has been smooth across the polling centers where this process is taking place.
Hafiz, let's talk about the candidates. Have you cited any of them? Have they spoken to you? What are their responses ahead of 5 p.m.?
So during our rounds, we have also, or we're told that Mr. Idiomi, the independent candidate, will be casting his ballot here at the Besiansi Sakura Park polling center. So we have pitched camp here to try and then get him when he comes. But we're told by his campaign team that he'll be arriving somewhere between now and midday. So we are still monitoring that. And we are also told that the MPP's candidate, Lawyer Kobna Boatin, is also going to be casting his ballot at Onyi. That is his hometown. Have also some monitoring there to try and gauge that process, and we will be speaking to them after the voting is done. But when you come to the particular place here where the independent candidate will be voting, a number of residents hearing that he will be coming around to vote, they have also come. Even after voting, some of them still wanted to wait and see him come and cast his ballot. So that is what you find here when you go to these places. But we have not had actually one-on-one or an interview with these candidates. We're just monitoring the process to get them to vote before we can talk to them.
You earlier spoke about security. What is the security situation in Ejisu like, knowing that this particular contest or race is one of particular interest? You also understand that there are some heavily built men who are not part of the security, any of the security forces that we know that are stationed in and out of Ejisu. What can you tell us?
So the well-built men are visible in the community. We cannot confirm which of the parties in this election is spearheading their presence in the constituency. But we can say that the police has control of these polling centers, and you find these people just lurking within the polling stations, and you find them at a spot close to the polling centers and not coming into the place. You find them so calm, chatting with themselves. but you don't have any confrontation. They are not having any confrontation with voters, except that the residents here are coming to us and telling us about some allegations they are putting across about people hiding at some areas close to the polling centers to share money to prospective voters who are turning up at the polling centers to vote. These are allegations we cannot independently confirm, but these are allegations that are also rife in most of the polling centers you visit. And the security situation, I would say, is good because the police have been patrolling, aside from the police officers who have been stationed at the various polling centers to man these areas. We have police officers, both plainclothes and uniform police officers, who are manning the or patrolling the various areas within the constituency, and there have been heavy deployment of police. I've seen the police vehicle from Atibobo, Amantin, and you should know that we have police officers from other regions who are coming to complement efforts of police officers who have been deployed to this place. And we have key personalities who are parties in this election. I'm just seeing the arrival of the founder and leader of the Liberal Party of Ghana, Kofi Akpalu, who has been urging electors within a district to vote for his, and he has been monitoring the process. Welcome to Citi TV.
Thank you, my brother.
We have been going round to these centers. Your impression about the process so far?
Oh, so far so good. Everything is in order. Looking at the way the people within the Juso constituency have comported themselves, I have to applaud them for this kind of exhibition. They have exhibited some kind of statesmanship and everything. Everything is in order. Everything is in order. The police, they are doing their work well. The EC, you can't have any complaint about the EC. Even the political parties, the stakeholders, everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. Even the NDC, even making the whole thing lively, you know, because they are not part, but they are more than they are part of the whole thing.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, the NDC, they are going around everywhere, campaigning for some people to be voted for. And I mean, even the president is around, it gingers the atmosphere. And I love that. I have to applaud NDC for being around. It's a nice thing. It's a nice thing. And I mean, it shows some kind of patriotism and a whole lot. I love that.
What do you hear when you visit some of these centers?
In fact, I've not heard of any bribery and corruption like people normally do in the polling centers, where they'll be buying votes and stuff like that. I've not seen anybody yet, and I've not heard anybody complaining or saying anything. If some of that's what is happening, maybe it's happening at the blind side of me. I've not seen anybody doing that yet, doing out money or something like that.
Your party has presented a candidate. What motivated you to join this contest?
In fact, this is an election, and we form a party to contest an election. So every election we need to be part. We cannot stay away from an election because we don't know what the people may decide until you get involved before you be able to know that either they vote for you or they will not vote for you. So as a party, we have made it ourselves that every election we are going to be part of it. We are not going to stay outside. And our candidate, you see, this is our first time even in this constituency, going around the constituency, introducing the party to the people, urging them on to join us and vote for us. They've given us good signals. Some have demonstrated that they are going to vote for Beatrice Boakye. That's our candidate. And some have called me after their After them casting their vote, they called me, contacted me, telling me, oh, we went and we voted for your candidate. And I mean, it's a good sign. At least the last election, I got only 8 votes. As a presidential candidate, I got only 8 votes in the whole of this constituency. So if today my candidate is able to get, let's assume, 50 votes, I'll be proud. Do you know why? Because the number is going up. You see, unless you don't understand, you don't build a business and expect the business to just blossom in a day. You have to grow it gradually. So by the time maybe you hit some years, see everybody getting to know you. Now people are getting to know LPG. You understand? People are getting to know LPG. Even in just here, people were not aware that there's a party called LPG. Even people didn't know Kofi Akpaloo here. Some have heard of me, but they didn't know me in person. So now that I'm going around here, people are getting, oh, Mr. Palu, you know. So it's also a good thing.
So we have 204 polling stations.
Yeah, right.
Do you have agents in all these polling centers?
Yeah, yes, we have because we decided to put 2 people in each polling station. One will be at the polling station at any point in time. So they will be doing interchangeably. So this one will go for a break and another person will take over. So at the same time, you have our men and women who are also going around helping the old men and women to come out and vote. So we know we're going to have an impressive show.
Some few minutes to midday, though early days yet, but what do you anticipate or what do you expect going into the close of polls and all that?
For the look of things, there's going to be a low turnout. For the look of things, there's going to be a very low turnout because I've been visiting almost 40% of the centers, and where I've been visiting so far, we don't see people going around to vote. So it means that I will not be surprised that when you have maybe 50% or less coming out to vote.
So that's Kofi Akpaloo. He is the founder and leader of LPG, Liberal Party of Ghana. He has presented a candidate, a female for that matter, Biti Boakye, to contest in this election. And he has been sharing his impression about the whole process. He has visited some centers, and his concern has been that there could be some low turnout at some of the centers. And he is also talking about the security, commending the police for intensifying their presence within the voting areas and also within the constituency. Except that he said he polled 8 votes in the previous election, and he is expecting to get some votes, or his candidates to get more votes in this election, and his party is gaining popularity in this contest. So that is what has been happening here. So just gone by was some police officers who came around, and that is what is happening. They go to the various polling stations. The commander of the police or the one in charge of the operations would come to consult with the officers here, ask them about the situation, whether they will need some form of assistance, then they can provide. So that is what the police is doing, trying to get their men on top of the job between now and the close of polls.
Very interesting.